Okay, so my toolbox is basically an old school hard shell suitcase. Inside I have cables and stuff on the big side. I have a smaller box that I have smaller stuff in. Another thing about packing, I also have a $20 bill taped under here. It's a nice trick I actually saw on Spectre Studios channel, and I started doing it. Pretty cool. So let's actually dig in and see what all's inside here. Okay, so let's dig in here. First I have this tiny little amp, little battery powered thing. It actually sucks, and if I'm not on the road, this basically just serves as a desk ornament. But it's pretty useful to have something like this if you're backstage and you just want to check for signal, tuning, whatever kind of stuff like that. Just nice to have something like this around. Spare DI box, again, just never know. Strings. I go back and forth between these D'Addario nickel wound 10s and 11s. So I generally like to have both on hand depending on the guitar, depending on the tuning. Okay. Next we have, again for string changes, just a nice little neck stand here. Light. Nice thing about this, it has a magnet, so it sticks to stuff. Nice multi-tool. Blade. String winder also has nice snipper for strings. Slide. It's a nice little tool when you're changing strings and cleaning up a guitar just to get dust out. This is a nice flat surface here that can get underneath strings and stuff like that. Capo Drum Key, you know, not a drummer, but always good to keep a drum key on hand in case somebody forgets one. It's really small, it doesn't take up a lot of space. Ebo, I actually don't keep the battery in this because it has a tendency to get turned on accidentally. So I keep the batteries separate. Although one thing, I have one battery for the Ebo, a backup. Always a good idea to keep a little piece of electrical tape on the ends. If you keep two 9 volts together in the same thing, they actually can catch on fire basically if the two touch. A few different kinds of tape. Gaff tape, you really just always need to have a roll of gaff tape. Just don't be a douche and constantly ask the sound guy or somebody else at the venue for tape. Just have your own. It's expensive. People get annoyed. Electrical tape, you never know when you're going to need to do a quick fix on a cable or something like that. It's another weird, like more fabric-y gaff tape. I don't really use it much except to like mark things. Trusty snark tuner. I actually don't use this live, but it's really handy to have if I just want to do a last-minute tune-up at the guitar boat before a show or something. Or again, I'm just messing around backstage. Really nice to have. Pretty accurate for what it is. Some extra Velcro. Velcro my pedals down to the board. Just never know if you pick something up on the road, a new pedal, or for some reason you have to replace Velcro on something else. Good to have. Lighter. AA batteries. Precision screwdrivers. These are really nice to have. Multimeter, again, if you're having cab trouble, whatever. I mean, there's just a lot of different things. I don't do a lot of like hardcore repairs on the road, but this is more just, I end up using it as like a diagnostic tool, honestly. spare SM57. Not my favorite mic, but it's rugged for the road, and you just never know where you're going to end up playing, and if something craps out or whatever, just good to have a spare. Fast fret. I actually don't like using this before we play, but I do like to use this when I'm wiping instruments down after a show. I don't like the sort of like you can feel it right after you use it on your guitar, and I don't like that feeling. Sort of like, you know, slimy strings. But if you do this the night before when you clean up, then by the time you play the show the next day, that kind of like feeling's gone, but the strings are clean, etc., etc. So that's how I use that. Electronic cleaner. This is a really, really great thing to have. You know, it doesn't seem like a huge bottle, but I haven't even come close to finishing it off. This is really great for like scratchy pots, scratchy inputs, dirty inputs on pedals, different things like that. Just spray a few things in there, and you know, generally if it's not a huge deal, it always tends to make things work better in those instances. We have some fretboard conditioner. Again, I generally don't do like insane stuff like this on the road, but yeah, it just ended up in there, I guess. Guitar polish. This is actually a polish that I got. Some of my guitars have a like flat finish, and this is really nice because it doesn't tend to like shine things up as much. Big Ben's nut sauce. This is a great just like lubricant anywhere strings touch metal, stuff like that. In the nut grooves, saddles, stuff like that. Under string trees on the headstock, just put a tiny little bit of this stuff in there. It helps not to break strings and to get that like sound. You know, if your nut's a little off, you can hear the strings sort of like rubbing against stuff. This is like my kind of save me pack. I have a pretty complex pedal board, and when I'm out with my Rage tribute band, you know, there's 2 or 3 pedals that I just couldn't play the show without, like my whammy and a wah pedal. So basically, if all else goes wrong on the board, I have 2 power supplies, 2 patch cables. I can basically just rip those 2 pedals off the board, rewire it sort of old school style with this, and still be able to play. Extra cables. I always keep a spare speaker cable. You never know when one might go bad, or somebody in your band forgets one. Good to have. Hdmi cord. This is convenient. Sometimes you do like video stuff. Not every venue has projectors and stuff, but good thing to have. A couple extra power cords. Picks, Allen keys, various truss rod adjusters for like certain guitars that I have that have like a more like a weirder size or shape or whatever that's needed. This is actually a Midi to USB cable that I actually use with my Strymon Mobius. If for some reason something craps the bed with that pedal, I have so many presets and everything, they're all backed up on my computer, so I have my laptop with me. I can basically just plug the Mobius into my computer, restore all the presets, and I'm good to go. And that's it for what's in there right now. Probably the only other thing that I would have in there is like a little MP3 player, little iPod Nano for, you know, in between changeover music and stuff. But yeah, that's about it.